Looking to transform your family game nights? At Perfectly Picked Games, we specialize in family games that bring everyone closer. Our games aren't just fun. Kids and teens will learn how to take turns, develop basic strategy skills, and understand the thrill of winning and grace of losing. With our exclusive gift of games, you can give months of gaming excitement to your family. Choose a 3-month or 6-month gift, and we'll deliver hand-picked family games to your doorstep every month. And here's the best part. Right now, you can use the promo code GOLDENMOJO and receive 20% off your selected plan. Don't miss out on this exclusive offer. Use promo code GOLDENMOJO and save 20% today at Perfectly Picked Games.
Welcome to the United States of Paranormal Podcast. Sit down and buckle up for an enlightening ride through everything cryptid, creepy, and paranormal.
Hello, all of my paranormal freaks out there. It is I, Golden Jay, hanging out with
the Rocker Chick
and
J-Dub,
and we are the United States of Paranormal.
Woohoo!
Welcome to the show. We hope you've enjoyed all of our episodes because you, listener, right now in your car traveling down the highway have been binging it for the last 14 hours. I know. It's a lot to take in, but it was worth it.
Yeah. Yes.
137 episodes. Congratulations, wow. 137.
Wow. Nice.
I don't know why that is a particularly grand landmark, but I feel today it's a landmark. 137. We could have stopped at 100, but no. We wanted 37 more, God damn it.
Can you believe, though, that it feels just like yesterday it was at 100, and now we're at 137?
Yes. I'll tell you what really gets me is I look back and I think about it, you know, and I think that very first one, I remember recording episode 0 and being, you know, me and Alicia just talking about ourselves, and then it combined with the Team Tejas. And then I think about Alicia leaving, and then I think about Team Tejas leaving at episode 52. And then, you know, the three of us just kind of carrying on the torch of doing episodes every week. And I think it just doesn't seem like, what is it? I don't know. 60 some, whatever. I didn't have to do the math on it, you know, but how many episodes ago that was that the three of us have been doing it. Mm-hmm. So anybody want to do the math? 137 minus 52. But I think about it and I'm like, wow, it doesn't really seem like it's really been that long. But I mean,
85
episodes of just the three of us.
I mean, if you want it to be just the two of you, it can. I mean, you don't want me anymore.
I think I was thinking more like just the two of you.
Whatever.
85 episodes of just the three of us. That's pretty remarkable.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
It's a lot. It's lots of episodes. Well, let me pump the brakes on that. It's 85 episodes since Team Tejas left, but we have thrown in the interviews with Just Logan, and then of course, you know, the other side episodes with Just Logan. So those add in there, but I mean, it's not a ton of them on that top of that. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of Just Logan, did he ever do his story on the plane crash?
No, we have never actually got him in to do that.
What the heck?
Well, I mean, to be fair, he's a busy boy.
Yeah, it's true.
He's got his Twitch that he's got going on with the Power Ranger stuff, which, you know, if you're listening on a Wednesday, you can go find it because it's going to be live tonight.
Woo!
He's doing that a couple days a week, and you know, he's still being a dad, doing dad things.
Yeah,
and
I get it. But probably ought to do that because I know he put a lot of work into it.
He did. All right, Logan, hit me up. Let's pick a date.
Because I watched documentary on that, and it was pretty interesting. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we do have some great things coming up. Let me get into some of the particulars as we start off. Of course, if you do not want to listen to our banter, there is a timestamp in the show notes that will lead you to the actual full story that we are presenting today. So if you don't want to listen to us talk, that's fine. Because we're going to talk about some pretty weird shit here in a minute.
We always do.
No, we do, don't we? Just go ahead and grab that timestamp and go ahead and fast forward up to that. So, and also, don't forget, we are on Patreon. Show your support for the show. Jump on there. It's patreon.com/TUSOP. That's TUOSP. Think about it for a minute.
TUOSP?
S.
No. Yes.
Words are hard. Yes, we don't know how to spell
I type
either.
it out all the damn time, but I don't ever think about it in my head. Yes, TUSOP.
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 But I get my S and my O backwards. Sorry, guys. TUSOP, the United States Paranormal. TUSOP.
TUSOP.
TUSOP. Yeah, jump on there. Show your support for the show. We have 3 different tiers you can choose from. Any tier will get you an autograph poster from us. J-Dub, Brocker Chick, and Golden J. I will personally mail it to you. Roll it up, put it in a tube, send it to you.
Woo.
So yeah, patreon.com/TUSOP.
Go.
Join.
Watch.
Laugh at our stupidity.
At our stupid faces.
Anything else exciting going on?
No.
Someday.
Yes,
Wait
it
for the
is.
week to be over.
Yes. It'll soon be over. And I'm not talking about the work week. I'm just talking about everything.
Oh.
Where you can come back and haunt your spouse. Could happen.
Could.
Would you haunt me if you passed away before me? Which obviously is not going to happen, but I'm going first. Sorry to break your heart.
What was I watching the other night where they were like, that was one on her bucket list that she wanted to go first, and then she said, but you go 15 minutes after me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You were watching The Equalizer.
That's it, yeah.
That was her, her bucket list was that she wanted to go first. Yep. Oh. J-Dub, anything exciting going on?
No.
All right. You sure?
I'm
Normal life.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's Hell Week.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, it's been Hell Week.
Been
about
Hell Week.
2.5 weeks ago. Well, we have some exciting things coming up here on the United States Paranormal. Lots of guests lined up. I don't want to spoil them all, but I do want to say Peter is coming back.
Yay!
Super excited. I'm still trying to work out all the details on what we're researching. He's got a few ideas, but I love when Peter is on the show. He did reach out to me after the Brian Greer interview, and he's like, he IM'd me because he must have been listening to it at the time. He's like, it's The Dream Team is the movie you're thinking of. And the next one come in immediately, goes, oh, you got it. So,
that's funny.
Yeah, we would talk some Michael Keaton then for a little bit. So, yeah, always good to hear from Peter and getting excited. Sometime late August, his episode will air. So, looking forward to having him back. Plus, we have a couple other things lined up. Getting excited about. So,
Woo-hoo.
I got to remember all the dates and all the things. So, I got to write all that down so I can tell you all about it. But, yeah. All right. What do you got for me?
Let me ask you this.
You mean Question of the Pod? Paranormal Edition.
Did we change it?
No, I'm just fucking I'm just fucking with Colton. Don't mind
Let me ask you this. What TV character would you think would be fun to change places with for a week?
For a whole week?
For a whole week. A TV character. Off of any show. You would live your life being that character for a week.
Richard Castle.
Beckett.
You want to be Beckett?
No.
I was like, this is just getting weird.
But because of Beckett.
That's a big... No, that'd be a big reason. But think about it. He's a successful writer. He gets to run around and help solve crimes. He's kind of a badass in his own right for kind of a goofy bastard. But yeah, Richard Castle. I think it'd be fun.
Okay, cool.
Oh, my turn? Elena Gilbert from Vampire Diaries.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Oh.
Be around those Salvatore brothers.
Oh, was she like the main love interest of the two of them?
Yes.
Okay. I see where this is going.
I probably wouldn't be as whiny as her, but I'd like to be around all those people.
Right on.
I'm going to do more of a cartoon person. I would like to be Velma from Scooby-Doo.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Any particular reason
she's
why?
the smarts of the group and gets to solve crimes and chase ghosts and yeah.
That's a good point. You kind of like doing that kind of stuff, solving crimes and chasing ghosts.
I think it would be fun to be a cartoon character. So for a week.
Really? I really thought you'd be like, one of the Master Chef judges.
No,
or
God, no.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
you
I
get to eat
wouldn't
all
mind
that
to
food.
eat.
Yeah. So speaking of that, she's watching this new show called what's the one where they bring people in thinking they're on an audition? What's it called? You can't even think of it right now.
No,
I
I
can tell by the
can't.
look at
Sorry.
your face.
I can't. But they think they're coming in to audition for a spot on the Cooking Network and like their own show. And they're actually being brought in to compete against one of the like major
Top-tier
chefs.
chefs,
Like
Oh, wow.
Iron Chefs and
Yeah.
and so and if they get one person to vote for their dish, they get like $5,000.
Nice.
So yeah, it's pretty cool.
The cool part, which I was getting, which would be related to something to be cool for us, is that the judges that they have for this competition, he goes out on the street and brings in. So he's just out there wandering and goes, you want to try some food? All you got to do is eat it. Consider what the protein or the main is supposed to be and vote for which one you like best. And it's just like 5 or 6 people off the fucking street.
Nice.
I'd be
Yeah.
standing out there, be like, free food? Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Every day. Yeah, I'll be on your show.
I can
Yeah,
do it. You remember me from yesterday? We had a good time. Let's do it again. I can't remember the name of the damn show.
I can't either. I'm sorry.
Somebody will tell us.
Expect you to remember these things for me.
Dang it. It's got the football player in it. It's got Eddie Jackson. Is it Eddie Jackson?
I don't know. I was going to ask you last night when you watch it who he exactly was. He was a former NFL star?
Yep.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He was on Christmas Cookie Challenge.
Okay.
Yes. I'm not sure that's his last name, but yeah, it's Eddie.
So he went from being a football player to kind of being a chef.
Well, he won one of those cooking things.
Yep. He won a cooking challenge and became.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting. I know that he's a great host. He does a great job on that show. So
I think you're right on his last name, though.
all right, she's gonna look it up real quick. I see the phone come out.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, pretty cool little show. If you get a chance to watch that.
Is it called Out Chefed?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Yeah. They have all the big name chefs on there too.
Yep.
Some of them you didn't even think were actual chefs. You just thought they were food critics. But they're badass chefs. What's that big burly guy, the bald-headed guy that I can't think of? I don't know what his name is, but I always thought he was just a guy who roamed around the world eating different foods.
Oh, I can't think of his. Damn it, Jeremy.
Yeah, I ain't
Don't
asking
ask
you
me.
no
I
more
can't
fucking
remember
questions.
people's names. He's the one that does the restaurant, saves restaurants too. I
Oh,
can't
that's
think of
right.
his-
Yeah. Yeah. Good show. She is all about cooking shows. You can watch anything with Guy Fieri or Gordon Ramsay.
We used to watch Worst Cooks in America.
Oh
Oh yeah, that's a
I
pretty.
watched that one.
I do enjoy that one as far as going and watching because the characters that are in the show, the contestants are all. I mean, they have such big personalities.
Yeah, they do.
So.
And that they actually eat their food.
Yeah, sometimes.
Oh.
Oh God, can you imagine? Can you imagine dumping into a
No.
an undercooked item that
Well,
is-
they open the protein to
Yeah.
make sure it's cooked, and then if it's not, they're like, I can't eat this.
yeah, like chicken. When they do chicken, you got to make sure that's good and cooked.
Yep.
Pork. You don't want to get worms.
Pork is one of those that you can't undercook.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. I need to start making sure my pork is cooked better.
Use a meat thermometer.
Oh, he's got time for that. Just feel it. All right. Are you guys ready to get into today's story?
We are.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I ready to tell you this story?
Sure.
Okay. Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be talking about third man syndrome. Have you ever heard of this? Well, third man syndrome, also called third man factor, is a phenomenon that occurs in times of distress and crisis. It's a feeling that there's another person or entity there alongside you, even though you're all alone. People report feeling, hearing, and even seeing this third man who acts as a voice of comfort and support in an otherwise horrifying time, and literally saves your life. You're contemplating something over there.
Third man, where's the second?
The third man. I don't know what the second is. They just call this the third man.
Okay.
I can explain why they call it the third man.
Oh, okay. As you were.
All right, are you ready for the third man term?
Yes, I am.
The term third man syndrome comes from the T.S. Eliot poem, The Wasteland. The poem was inspired by a real-life experience of Ernest Shackleton, an Irish explorer who went on a near-death expedition in Antarctica in 1916. After their ship was trapped in ice, he and two members of his crew made a 36-hour-long trek across the Arctic over mountain and glaciers. They were headed to a whaling station, so can you imagine 36 hours of walking through that?
No.
Oh, my God. During that time, several members of his three-man team, including Ernest, kept feeling like there was a fourth man alongside them. So you have you and then the three other ones. That's why they call it the third man. I mean, that's the going scenario on why that is. Of course, like any paranormal phenomenon, there are tons of hypotheses on what exactly third man syndrome is, ranging from, say, guardian angel or long deceased ancestors to our brains psychologically protecting us in moments of extreme stress. And this actually is more common than you actually think. So that's pretty much the definition synopsis of third man syndrome. I have a list, thanks to the rocker chick, because she done my research for me this episode, because I've been busy doing other things. But I have several of firsthand experiences, people that told stories, and this is all from BuzzFeed. So it was people putting stuff on BuzzFeed. So here you go. Are you guys ready?
Yep.
I have a few. Like 10, so they're not very long, but they're not super short. So here we go. I once fell about 10 feet from a ledge overlooking a lake. The ledge was above large rocks. Yeah, even when I read this one earlier, I was like, you fell 10 feet, but he was falling onto large rocks. So I guess I can see that. As I fell, I was sure I was about to be gravely hurt. Suddenly, I felt a large hand on my back that caught me and pushed me up against the wall. Surprised, I turned around to thank my Savior, and no one was there. I was dangling over the rocks. Feeling the hand, it pushed me straight against the wall until both my feet were secured. I cannot explain what happened that day, but I know that there was someone or something there that saved me.
Yep.
That's insane.
Yeah, it would be.
So, yeah, you're falling and then just like, boom, and then shoves you up against the wall.
Guardian angel.
I hope it didn't hurt his face when he got slammed against the wall. This is the next one. When my husband was in his 20s, he fell asleep while driving and crashed into a telephone pole. He was hurt, and he remembered a teenage kid knocking on his window and telling him he had called the police and not to get out of the car because there were live wires everywhere. When my husband was finally rescued, there was no sign of the kid. The police said that no one had called them. They had just came because the power was out. Not only that, but they said there was no way that anyone could have gotten close to the car on account of all the power line laying around the car. If my husband had tried to get out of the car, they probably would have killed him.
Yep.
So my husband so vividly remembers the kid. He believes he was real, but my mom believes it was his guardian angel.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he just walked up, knocked on the fucking window and be like, I called the cops. Don't get out of the car. I'm standing on live power lines. Oh, what do we got next? Got another one here. I was driving north from Portland to Seattle for a last-minute appointment. I was very tired, and the rainy weather wasn't helping at all. I was using my phone as a GPS, and it fell off the mounter dashboard holder and onto the footwell below. This is an interesting terminology, footwell. I was on a major freeway and, in my tired state, started to scramble to find the phone. I know it's dumb, but I didn't know where I was going. At this point, I could barely see the road, and I was looking down for the device, and when all of a sudden, I felt my steering wheel jerk to the left and then to the right again. I popped back up to see what was going on. I narrowly missed hitting a road worker by maybe a foot by swerving out and back in the lane again. And I had not moved the wheel. Grandma, what?
Wow.
That was the road worker's guardian angel.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Grandma used to say, don't drive faster than your angels can fly. And I could feel her in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
When I read this one, this is something that I think that we take for granted, because these guys that hold these signs and, you know, get people to stop or slow and all that is an extremely dangerous job.
Yeah.
And a lot of them have lost their lives out there just doing their job. So guys, when you're out traveling, make sure you're paying really close attention, because all those people have families they want to get home to, and they don't need to be trying to jump out of the way for you guys not paying attention or
Texting.
Whatever. Yeah. I make sure every time that I go through a road construction, and I see, and you know, you make that flip over the lane or whatever, I always wave at those guys.
Yeah.
So that they know that I see them when I'm driving. So I hope to never make that mistake of missing one. But it's just you guys be careful out there. A lot of these are driving stories too, by the way. So people driving somewhere, like this next one. I was driving back to college my freshman year, and I got totally lost in a heavy wooded area. This was before GPS and cell phones. So I was stuck on these roads alone. I couldn't find my way to the highway. I couldn't find my way to the highway that I was looking for, and as the sun set, a huge storm broke out, and started pouring rain. The rain was so heavy I could barely see the road. Suddenly, a house with all of its lights appeared. It was the only house I had seen for miles. So, against my better judgment, I parked the car and went running for the door. The house had a fence, but no gate to open. So I hopped the fence and started banging on the door, asking for help. A woman opened the door and invited me inside. The house was empty except for a big beanbag chair in the kitchen. She said that they had just moved in and her husband had left to get something, so it was just us. I was soaking wet, so she offered me a change of clothes and poured me a cup of tea. She let me use their phone to call my parents, but they didn't answer. So I left her number on the answering machine so they could call her back and thank her. She said I was really close to the highway, but understood I had already had a rough night, so she offered to drive and guide me to the highway so that I wouldn't get lost again. I'm assuming that she followed or she led the way for this person. Mm-hmm. Turns out, if I had just kept driving for another minute up the road, I would have hit the highway. My mom called the number I gave the next day, but we got an error saying the number did not exist. Despite having driven that road many times later in my college career, I never saw that house again.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That almost reminds you like the girl you pick up and take back home and doesn't live there anymore, or had died 10 years earlier. Crazy. All right, you ready for another one? Mm-hmm. Years ago, I was heading back by train from my parents' house to university. It was late, and I had my head resting on the window with my eyes closed. Suddenly, a voice started telling me to move. It got louder and more urgent. But when I opened my eyes, there was no one yelling at me on the train. A few other passengers were all minding their own business. The voice in my head got louder and louder, more and more urgent. I felt silly moving, but I finally couldn't ignore the voice any longer, so I scooted a seat over and sat upright. Just then, a bullet came through the train window, right where my head had been. I'd have been done for if I had stayed where I was.
Oh, my. That ain't right.
Makes you think about that a minute, doesn't it?
Always listen to that little voice.
Should always listen to that little voice. Mm-hmm. Here's your next one. I don't know what to say about that one. I mean, it's like we all kind of have. You ever have those instincts where you kind of think you hear something and then you're like, oh, I probably shouldn't. And then crazy things happen. All right. I was a teenager in the 80s. Hell yeah, I was. I was driving alone at night in a rainstorm. I hate driving at night, especially in the rain. Anyway, I ended up hitting a pothole and my tire popped. I was kind of in the middle of nowhere, but I somehow made it to a parking lot. It was empty from what I could tell. This was obviously before cell phones or anything, so I was going to try and change my tire myself when I realized I didn't have a spare. I sat back in my seat trying to think of what to do when I heard a tap on my passenger window. There was a man's voice saying, "You need a hand, miss?" I felt the car being jacked up and heard the sound of someone messing with my tire. I remember clutching the tire iron in my hand as I got out of the car to try and get a better look at the guy and see what the hell was going on. And as suddenly as he appeared, he was gone. I sat in my car again, still thinking. A few minutes later, the rain cleared up a bit, and I made my way to the store whose parking lot I ended up in to try and use their phone to call my dad. My dad showed up with a spare tire only to tell me that all my tires were totally fine. So now, I always wonder if any of it was real at all. Magical tire changing dude. Did he really change the tire, or did he just magically pump it up?
Or she fell asleep and her guardian angel put her into a parking lot and she never popped a tire.
Nice twist on that one.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you did the research, did you read all these? So you know,
I read quite a few of them.
right on. I might have stole her on her next story. Look at her; she knows it. Yeah.
Good.
All right, here's the next one. It was the summer of 1986. Where's my boy Frankie? And I was about 5 when this happened. My father was a Marine, and the Marines brought their families together for a day of hot dogs, baseball, and fun. The park we were at had a paved walking trail that was basically just a real big circle around the park. Side note, you ever go to Tin Cap Stadium in Fort Wayne? That's what it is there. Just a giant, it's paved all the way around. You can walk away all around the park. It's pretty cool. They have beer gardens and yeah. Little 5-year-old me had my hot dog and I went for a walk on the trail. At the furthest point of the trail from where everyone else was, I began to choke. I took a bite of the hot dog that was too big and I was having difficulty chewing it, which led me to accidentally swallowing it before it was ready to be swallowed. I knew I was done for. I stood there looking at the ground, hot dog in my left hand and right hand where I felt the stuck dog right below my voice box. I was trying my hardest to push or vomit it out. I began to think, I'm gonna die. I paused here when I was reading this.
He's 5.
He's 5. How do you have that thought when you're 5? That's scary in itself. That very second, I felt the urge to look up. To my left, not 3 feet away, was a tiny little old lady. She was straight up stereotypical image of a sweet little old lady sitting on a bench, smiling at me. I quickly motioned to her that I was choking and needed help. In her soft, sweet, smiling old lady voice, she said, "Oh, I know. You just need to relax. Everything is going to be fine." Should I have done a little old lady voice? Oh, no. Seeing her happy calmness made her instructions to just relax seem like a good idea. So I did. The moment I began to relax was the moment I felt the hot dog moving back up my throat and back into my mouth and then onto the ground at my feet. I was in shock seeing a literal half of a hot dog on the ground and couldn't believe I had took that big of a bite. I'm not sure how long I was staring at the hot dog, but it couldn't have been more than a second or two. When I looked up again, there was no bench and there was no little old lady. I just lost it, crying, standing there until one of the other Marines noticed me and came to check on me. When he asked what was wrong, I bumbling muttered out through tears what happened. He stood up quick as spit sizzles, looked around for the old lady, then walked me back to the rest of the families. No bench, no little old lady.
Nope.
That is pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. She saved him.
She did. And I'll bet you he never ate hot dogs the same way ever
Probably
again.
not, or else he cut him up.
he's a no bun guy now. He throws them on a plate and chops up
Yeah.
in little pieces. Sticks holes in the middle of them in case it does get caught, so it can breathe through like lifesavers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Comments on that one there, Rocker Chick?
No, I have none. Yeah, I think a lot of them are guardian angels or their past relatives.
Yeah.
Which would probably be a guardian angel.
When you say past relatives, do you think that it's someone older than, say, their grandparents who they would know? I mean, this kid was 5 years old, and he sees a little old lady. I mean, if it was his grandma that passed away, I mean, he might not know what she looked like, as far as...
Like a great-great-grandma or something?
Do you think it's farther back than...
Could be.
Than just...
Yeah, they want to keep their heritage going. They don't want to lose...
That's a good point.
Their
keep the namesake alive. Yeah. All right, you ready for the next one? It was 1 a.m. I was only a day away from my due date with my first pregnancy. My husband and I were sleeping, anticipating the many sleepless nights that would soon become the new normal. I felt a sweet kiss on my cheek and a comforting, warm feeling. As I woke up from the kiss, I rolled over to find my husband still snoring and facing the opposite direction. The second I realized he couldn't have kissed my cheek, I felt a pop and my water broke. I've always believed that it was my much beloved grandmother who gave me the kiss, blessing me as I began the journey to bring my daughter into the world. We're both named after her.
Aw.
Yeah. Pop. Water broke. Do you actually
Good
feel...
luck, sweetie.
Do you actually hear a pop? I don't remember ever hearing a pop.
I don't know. I blocked those memories out.
Fair. All right. My mother was going through cancer treatment and wasn't feeling great after her most recent one that afternoon. She went to bed early and I stayed up playing video games on the other side of the house. Around midnight, I felt a hand touch my shoulder and a really strong feeling that I should check up on Mom hit me. I found her passed out on the floor and took her to the hospital where she received an emergency blood transfusion. She is now 10 years cancer-free and thriving.
Nice.
But that night, it was like someone else was there watching out for her.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's short and sweet one. All right. This is my last one. Is this my last one? Is this my last one? Come on, Rocker Chick. Is my last one? This is my last one. I got one more.
Okay.
You guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. Listeners, are you ready? Last one. I was driving on a stretch of freeway that turns into highway with 3 stoplights before turning into freeway once again. I was waiting at a red light when someone slammed into me at full speed from behind, not realizing the light hadn't changed to green yet. My car skidded 20 feet from the sheer force of the massive truck hitting my sad little 1996 Escort. The seat I was in broke. I was immediately crying in shock and confusion. A woman appeared at my window and patted me on the shoulder, telling me it was going to be okay. I got out and spoke to the other driver, who was all apologies, explaining he had been watching a erratic driver behind him when the accident occurred. Yeah, we never all done that, haven't we? It seemed normal until I realized that my window was still rolled up, unbroken, and that there was no way that anyone could have reached in and touched my shoulder. The woman that came to comfort me was nowhere to be found. I was uninjured other than a little whiplash, and other than losing my vehicle that day, I was more upset that I had just filled the gas tank.
Yeah. That would suck.
So there you go. There are 10 stories. I think I counted 10 stories of third man syndrome, and what kind of that whole meaning behind that is. So the question is, to you two and our listeners, the United States of Paranormal at gmail.com. Have you ever had a third man syndrome incident, a thing? It doesn't have to be like life-saving, but have you ever had something? The girls are thinking.
I have never had anybody like touch me or felt like there was somebody else there, but I've had nights where things have happened that I've like woke up from. Like I wouldn't know, but for some odd reason I woke up just at that exact time. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So a few years ago, my best friend lived in Alabama with her. They were supposed to get married in August, and he passed away in May.
Okay.
So Sean and I went down there because we were going to move her back up. And Sarah and I have always called each other. I had a dog named Jezebel, and I always called her Duty. And so Sarah and I just call each other Duty or Dewey or whatever. So her fiance would call me Duty. So Sean and I are dead asleep at their house after he had passed away. And all I hear is, Duty, 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 Sarah. And it woke me up, and it was his voice.
Right.
And all I hear is Sarah like wailing, crying. So it was like I needed to go and check on her.
So you did have one.
Mm-hmm. But it was her fiance that had passed away.
Interesting. Me personally, I don't think I've ever had something like this happen. That I can like recall, right off the top of my head, but I can definitely see this being something that is very common, the guardian angel looking out for like the guy on the train, or just somebody coming along to comfort you, like the final story of being in the accident. I mean, crazier things that happen to people. So but yeah, that's very interesting. Thank you for the story, Rocker Chick.
You're welcome.
That was good. I like that.
It was fun. I enjoyed it. Yeah, so there you go, guys. Third man syndrome. I'd love to hear your guys' story if anything like this has ever happened to you. So, the United States of Paranormal at gmail.com.
Let us know.
Let us know. We need to know.
We need to know.
We need to know. All right. Well, that does it for us today.
Wow.
I hope you enjoyed the story.
I did.
I did. I really liked it.
I hope you enjoy the podcast, listeners.
I do.
We enjoy you. We
do.
enjoy hearing from you.
We do.
I am me. Email me.
Us.
Us. That's right. You can find us on Facebook. I know there's several fans that found you guys.
Mm-hmm.
They found me too.
Well.
We're not really hiding, so if you need us, you know where to go check us out.
We're just normal people.
Well,
We're a little
normal's
weird.
not really the word
We're a little
that
weird.
I would use
We're
here.
weird people.
Top-notch weirdos.
She has a sign on her desk that says that. All right. Go check out the website, UnitedStatesParanormal.com, where you have all of our merch on there, whether it be a pair of feet, whether it be a celestial stag, whether it be a great white bald beaver. Hell, you can even have Haskins the Scarecrow. Mm-hmm. He is our main man when it comes to two stops. So you can get him on a t-shirt, on a pint glass, on a sweatshirt, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. Have to go back and look it over everything that's on there. J-Dub just racked up a big old section of merch.
Yeah.
Should be rocking out that brand new other side sweatshirt this
my.
fall.
Let me tell you. So that hoodie that I got it in the purple. And that other side logo with the TV on it looks like fire on that sweatshirt, because the purple and then that
blue
just pops out at you.
Nice.
It is. I love it. I can't wait
Good.
to wear it. And it's really soft. And I love it. And I look really good in purple, by the way.
Oh, there you go. What color shirt is that one you're wearing now? Is that purple or is that pink?
It's pink.
Right on. I can't really I know we looked at it earlier, but no, the Parafeet shirt in the pink turned out really, really good.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah. I like the heather black. The heather black is really nice. It's not like straight black. It's just kind of a dark charcoal.
That dark turquoisey teal-y color is really nice too.
Right. We picked out some good colors.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah.
I got-
Logan and I did a good job.
Mm-hmm.
Buy some merch.
Get out there, check it out. UnitedStatesParanormal.com.
Support.
Please.
Tell people.
Yeah.
That lets people know about us.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And you get a cool shirt to wear.
Post the stuff that you guys get, and then tag us so we can see it and see how amazing you look with it.
Absolutely. I mean, our boy the Straw Man did it.
Yep.
He's always posting him and his two-stop merch. So, and don't forget, we are on Patreon. If you want to help support the podcast that way, patreon.com/2stop. What is that? TUSOP?
Yeah, very good.
job.
Yay!
I
Good we can
learned
spell.
something new today. Although I wrote it up on the wall now, so I don't have to. Did you just fucking look?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Oh. All right, guys. Thanks so much. We'll see you again next week. So keep it spooky, and we'll see you on the other side.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to The United States of Paranormal. Check us out at theunitedstatesofparanormal.com or at any other of our social media pages. At Twitter at TOSOPPOD, at Instagram at The United States of Paranormal, or Facebook at The United States of Paranormal, or YouTube at The United States of Paranormal 1795.
Please check out our other podcasts in the Golden Mojo Entertainment Network. The Call Guys, Golden Image Podcast, Indiana Chiefs Fans, The Golden 80s, Murd Nerds, and A Quart of Books and Booze.
And if you have a location you would like us to check into, or a creepy story that you would love to tell us, please email us at theunitedstatesofparanormal@gmail.com. Please like, rate, and subscribe wherever you listen.